long as the party keeps jumping, jumping, jumping. Either you're right or mine, we just gotta get into something, something, something. And I ain't trying to pressure you.
Hey, welcome to Sweeter Dishes, Life with Cousin Patches. This is part 2 to my crazy days. Okay. Day number 3. I would like to call him. And for those of y'all who don't know what the free baller is, listen to my story and you will learn. Okay. I met this guy and he seemed real cool. He had a nice cut up body or whatnot. Now, when I met him, he was wearing like a loose fitted outfit, short and top. So I met him on his leisure time. So I didn't really take it that, he dressed like that for all occasions. So he came over to my porch conversations because I don't really bring guys in right away. I do a date outside on my porch thing. And then after I get to know you, then that's not that bad after all. So since I've seen that he's not that bad after all, I figure I might continue on seeing him. Now, when I date a guy, I believe that if I can't pray with you, then we really can't be together. So I need a guy that is gonna, have a little bit of the Lord and Jesus within him. I'm not saying that he got to be the deacon, but I want him to have that installed inside of him. So I takes him to church. Okay? He picks me up that evening in a little raggedy, little humbuck. That's what I call them little itty bitty cars, and they kind of be like, nah, along the side of the highway. It slightly gets on your nerves, little humbucks. I've owned a humbuck, and so, as when I get in the car, I throw in my Kirk Franklin CD, and for some reason, it would not play. Because, he didn't have a tape cassette player, so it wouldn't play inside his CD. I should have took that as notion. So, as we riding on to get to church, first off, he showed up, his clothes was wrinkled as hell. I was slightly upset because I was all in my Sunday's best, and I looked at a dime. So, I was upset that he showed up raggedy. Not even raggedy, real wrinkled. So, I was like, okay. But before I could even say anything about it, as we was driving along, he was like, well, we get ready to run out of gas. I'm like, we get ready to run out of gas? We late to church. Why you put gas in the car? Oh, I didn't really have no money. And right as he said that, the car stops. We runs out of gas. So it's early Sunday, and I'm trying not to catch an attitude. So I look around, I see I'm not that far from my nephew T-Man's house. And I only brought $5. So that was to go put in the church. So, if I would have had to give him $2 or something for the gas, I don't mind. But, he didn't have anything. So at this point, I'm mad. Now, my nephew's house is closer than the gas station. So I said, we're going to walk to my nephew's house in my Sunday's good clothes, knowing I got a bad back. So I'm like, okay, attitude. And we start walking over to T-Man's house. And I have to basically bang on his back window, wake him up, his family up, because it's early Sunday morning. And, my nephew's like, okay. He opens up this door and he looks like, who is this guy that you are with? Man, he has always been very critical of the guys that I've dated. So, I was like, this is a really nice guy. And we ran out of gas. And I need a couple dollars so we can put some gas. You need to give us a ride so we can get the gas going to go to church. He looked at the man and he told the man, he said, I don't care if Jesus himself came down and said that you're a good man. We'll see with time. See how you treat my auntie with time. So then at this time, the guy looks very scared. He thinks T-Man's a gangster. And, my baby, he has a little bark and a little bite. But if you get to know him, you'll see that he's a sweetheart. He can't help it that he's a pit bull. I raised him that way. So he give us a ride or whatnot. He give us a ride to the car so we can put some gas in the car and start on our way to church. And, my nephew looked like you don't even look ready to go to church. This man's wrinkled to death, but he get us a ride and we get our car started and then we on our way to church. Now, when I get to church, keep in mind, my sisters, my aunties, my grannies. All these people go to this church, okay? So when I see them, when I go to this church, 9 out of 10, I greet them with hugs and kisses. Not only I hugged my granny, my auntie, he did. He groped and hugged them real tight. Each one, real tight. But that didn't bother me. Maybe he just was looking for love. So, you know, I'm sitting here at church after he's hugged up my whole family real tight. You know, the Lord, you know, I'm trying to pray to the Lord, and, you know, the preacher asks us to bow our heads and start praying. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And some said, just look up. Some said, open up your eyes. So I opened up my eyes, and I noticed he's sitting in church, you guys, with a heart out. I'm like, I know this man. I know that's not a heart out. Lord Jesus, please tell me he is not sitting here in church like this. Just sitting there. Through his jeans, you see this. It's not the average wrinkle. It's like this. So I start praying some more. I was like, oh Lord, oh Jesus, please don't let this man be hard. Oh my God. Who does this? So I opened up my eyes thinking it was going to disappear. It wasn't. All of a sudden, the choir got to singing. He jumps up. He's up on his feet. He's feeling the message. And he's standing there. And we just singing, you know. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free at this time. You know, he start tearing up and crying. And my auntie them hugs him up again. One of my aunties them turn around, hugs him up. It's going to be okay, child. The Lord loves us out. So, I'm like, for a second there, I forgot all about that he was just sitting there like this, okay? So after they hugged him up, baby's gonna be okay, and he's hollering like he wants to walk to the altar and damn near join the church. I looked at his waistline again, and I noticed he's still hard at church. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's like this, okay? So I prayed to the Lord, please, please, please don't preach for a long time. Please, Lord, let this hurry up and be over with. Apparently, I did something right because the Lord, the services didn't last as long as it usually does. So I'm like, I'm ready to get out the church because I've seen this ridiculous hump in his pants, and I'm ready to go. And, you know, he wants to hug up my family as we leave. Now, normally I hug them up, but they can see in my face there's something in me that's saying I'm pissed off. I got a little attitude. So, I love you. I see you. I'm out. He, again, hugs and squeeze and grope up and hug everybody. My aunties, my grannies, cousins. He hugs them all, okay? Nobody was left unhugged. We get in the car, and at this time I'm mad. So he wants to know why I'm sitting here quiet and slightly mad. You know, he was like, why are you mad? I said, first of all, you've ran out of gas on the way up here when you should have had gas. Your clothes is all wrinkled up. He stopped me right there. He's like, look, Carla, I'm sorry. I should have had some gas. That's the reason why I've cut back. I cut back on laundry. This is the 3rd time I wore this outfit. And I don't wear, you know, underclothes anymore. I just stopped wearing underclothes. So I'm like, you stop wearing underclothes.